Hello, this is Melinda Starr with the Yellow Brick Road Tarot, and today I'm going to be doing a reading about wild horse meat as a solution for overpopulation. I'm going to be using the Wizard of Oz tarot deck, and I'm going to be using the horse oracle cards from the herd of horses at Star Horse Retreats. Star Horse Retreats is a venue where we are healing humanity to heal the earth with a herd of 17 horses. What's going on with this narrative about overpopulation with the horses? Okay, who in the herd at Star Horse Retreats would like to address this particular one? And it's Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss has actually since passed away, but his medicine's still very much alive. Sagittarius, Jupiter energy, he's all about expansion. Dr. Seuss encourages you to expand to your broadest capacity and think big. He is tall, jolly, and funny, and has a twinkle in his eyes as he towers above the other horses. He has watched the dynamics in the herd shift with new leadership and different players, and spends more time exploring alone and discovering uncharted territory. He says that it's time for you to voyage to unknown places and seek higher knowledge. Travel outside of the ordinary to expand your understanding of the massive universe. Step out of your comfort zone and embrace the flow of limitless luck and good fortune. All right, Dr. Seuss. Okay, fire, water, air, and earth, elementals of my birth, with gratitude I call upon my great cosmic mother Andromeda, under a dome of divine golden light, encased in a dome of mirrors, with the protection of my elemental guardian dragons. Please step forward and channel directly with honesty, integrity, and impeccability for the highest and greatest good of Gaia. What in the world is going on with this article about eating horse meat to control the overpopulation of the wild mustangs? The issue, 8 of bricks. The past, 10 of wands. Near future, the chariot. Foundation, knight of swords. Present, 4 of swords. Outcome, knight of bricks. And what's hidden under the deck, the 3 of bricks. I'm going to bring in a little bit of light language as I channel this message. Kaya na lustiane mehene ke kaya ushene naya liste ke pekenya ushene ayalana mahana ukaya lenene hene makanunene ilena mana kato katana ziekene siketena suka sukata tientan hamahana kataka jikete tanta inemaha. Okay, the 8 of bricks as the issue. The 8 of bricks, this is about systems and infrastructure, the brick and mortar frameworks that dictate how things operate on the surface. The 8 of bricks says this isn't a rogue idea from one journalist. It's built into the machinery. The 10 of wands. The weight of exploitation has been carried by horses for centuries as war animals, laborers, sports equipment, and now as scapegoats. This card shows the long, exhausting burden they've endured. It also reveals that the crisis language in the article is just the latest weight added to an already heavy load. The near future. There is movement here, and it's decisive. The chariot speaks of a clash between 2 powerful forces, the drive to further control and commodify, and the force of awakened advocacy and truth. At the foundation is aggressive messaging, propaganda campaigns framed as practical solutions. The Knight of Swords rushes in without considering the heart, delivering sharp words and decisive action meant to shock. The present, 4 of Swords. Right now there is a lull, a gathering of thoughts. It's the eye of the storm before the next push. For advocates, this is the time to prepare, center, and plan responses strategically rather than reactively. For the horses, it is a still point in which they hold and transmit their codes into the land despite the surrounding noise. The Knight of Bricks, the outcome. This shows grounded, practical defenders stepping in, people and organizations who build tangible protections, sanctuaries, policy interventions, public education campaigns, and what's hidden, the Three of Bricks. Behind the scenes are collaborative efforts that will be crucial. Alliances across disciplines and geographies. The Three of Bricks say, this isn't a lone battle, it's a co-creation between land protectors, horse advocates, indigenous leaders, and everyday people willing to take a stand. The overall story from Dr. Seuss. This is a play in a much larger theater. The overpopulation claim is a curtain they're pulling across the stage so you won't see the real set. Land grabs, resource extraction, and a push to sever the bond between horse and human before that bond becomes humanity's remembrance of freedom. But the chariot moves both ways. The same momentum they harness to push this agenda can be turned if you seize the reins. Build alliances, hold the vision, travel outside of the ordinary and seek higher knowledge, for when you see the whole board, their moves become small and predictable. Now I'd like to ask a question. It seems to me the abuse is vitriolic. It is so cruel what we do to horses. You'd be arrested if you did these things to dogs. We use bits and spurs and whips and branding irons. In sport, it is so cruel. In rodeos. What is the relationship between horses and humans? They've stood by humanity's side all throughout history. What's the deal with horses? What's going on with the horses? I'd like to get some jumper cards. What is going on with the horses, please? What is going on with the horses? Who are they? Why are they on the planet? Who are they? And we have the Five of Swords as the answer to who they are. Let me call in some light language for this. Ishik pikete paya naha sakachukatentianana ayalukane mahayana kasutian sinenege ikapaka kuchintene montenkenema. This card is about conflict where the winner has lost something far more important than the prize. It speaks to the kind of warfare that isn't just physical, it's psychological, cultural, and spiritual. In the context of the horses, it's showing that humanity's mistreatment of them is not just cruelty, it's a form of domination designed to sever an ancient alliance. The systemic abuse, bits, spurs, branding, rodeos, is not random cruelty. It is part of a deep programming that teaches humans to normalize domination, to accept that freedom must be broken, controlled, and made to serve. This victory of control strips away the very medicine horses came to bring, the remembrance of sovereignty, trust, and co-creation. Who are they? Horses are planetary messengers and frequency anchors. Their hooves transmit codes into the Earth's grids, especially along ley lines. They harmonize the planet's energetic body. In their presence, humans can drop into coherence with natural rhythms, awaken intuition, and restore connection to the living web. Why they are here? They are incarnated alongside humanity at key moments of Earth's history to help carry civilizations forward, not just physically in travel and agriculture, but spiritually as allies in consciousness expansion. They are here now because this is another tipping point. Their medicine is urgently needed as humanity either reclaims a partnership path or deepens the path of domination. What's going on now? The Five of Swords reveals a war for the narrative. On one side, the rising awareness of horses as sentient partners and healers. On the other, entrenched industries and power structures that profit from their commodification and suffering. This card warns that humanity's so-called victory over the horse through control, confinement, and slaughter is actually a spiritual loss that impoverishes the soul of our species. So I guess I would ask what's next, but you already said what's next. The cards already said that what's next is it's going to get worse before it gets better. Spreading the word like this is helping us see. And so I'd like to know, what can people do to help? 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 Especially people living in cities that aren't around horses. What can people do to help? What can people do to help? What can people do to help? The King of Wands. And I had a whole stack flip. But I'll just go with the top one, the star. We'll just do that. I'll flip these guys back in. All right. The King of Wands and the star. What can people do to help? Istikepikanaia loshene mahana kotian sene mahana sikete pokaya wolene mahana uchiti te kaya makaka kaya na sikepa jana ischikopoko koya na chikan sientantana. The King of Wands tells us you don't have to have a ranch, a herd, or even daily access to horses to make a difference. What's needed is visionary leadership in your own sphere of influence. Be the voice. Speak up for horses in conversations, online platforms, and community discussions. Share articles, documentaries, and facts about wild horse roundups, the cruelty of certain equestrian practices, and the truth about their role in our ecosystems. You can champion reform, support policy changes by writing to legislatures, signing petitions, or backing organizations working for humane treatment and habitat protection. Model a new paradigm. If you do interact with horses, even through riding schools or tourism, choose only those that operate with compassion. No bits, spurs, whips, or confinement. Your consumer choices send a market signal. And the star, inspiration and healing. This card's message is that horses respond to frequency. You can help by contributing to the collective energy that lifts their plight into light. Hold the vision. See horses free, respected, and thriving in your mind's eye. The star is about hope that becomes reality when sustained by enough hearts. Educate through beauty. Share uplifting art, photography, or stories of horse-human partnerships based on trust and freedom. Beauty draws people in more powerfully than outrage alone. Energetic support. Even if you're in a city apartment, you can meditate on sending healing energy to herds, to the land, to graze, and to people making decisions about the future. Come to retreats like Star Horse Retreats. Be around the horses. Feel their energetic energy. Let them tap in and activate you and bring the codes down from your star families so that you can continue your work and follow your yellow brick road. The King of Wands says, lead boldly in your own way. The star says, do it with a heart that uplifts, not just criticizes. Together they call for a movement of inspired advocates, grounded in truth but powered by hope, to create both practical change and energetic momentum for horses everywhere. All right, let's do one more clarifier to show what's possible if enough people answer this call. What will happen if enough people answer this call? Let's get a jumper. What will happen if enough people answer this call? Okay, I had 3 cards jump out. The Tower, the 2 of Wands, and the 2 of Buckets. Ile me nuka chantana, istepeke kaya wushenema, aya lukane, ele mene heke pakachu tense kataine niketene, lina mahanoko kaya, ushche keteme, ishche kapakakaya na sakachu tense, namana hane ke eliane hanaka, ishche kapakaka chantana, sike ne himahana hanoko kakachu tentiana, nisto kasana. Okay, the Tower. The old order falls. If enough people rise, the existing destructive structures that exploit, confine, and commodify horses will collapse. It represents a necessary shock to awaken the masses and make the old paradigm untenable. The 2 of Wands. Visionary planning for a new era. Once the Tower clears the debris, humanity gets to consciously choose what comes next. This card shows people stepping into the role of co-architects for a future where horses are respected as sentient beings and ecological partners. It's about making bold, collaborative plans to restore habitats, protect wild herds, and change the laws. And the 2 of Buckets. Here we see the ultimate outcome, harmony and mutual respect between horses and humans. It's not about ownership or dominance. It's about relationship, reciprocity, and co-healing. On the energetic level, it's the reunion of species that have journeyed together for millennia, finally returning to right relationship. If enough people step forward, the systems of cruelty will crack and fall, the Tower. From that clearing, visionaries will unite to plan a humane and enlightened future, as seen in the 2 of Wands. And in that future, horses and humans will stand side by side once again as partners, allies, and friends. Let's do one more question. What is the environmental impact of horses? How do they help regenerate the land? We'll ask for a jumper card here, or several. Okay, we got 1. We got the Ace of Swords. Estipekene mahana kochientene lina mahaya ushikipekin shintanana nika shutien shina mahana. This is a card of clarity, truth, and a fresh perspective cutting through illusion. Here's how it can apply to the environmental impact of horses and their role in land regeneration. The Ace of Swords brings clear truth. Horses are not environmental burdens. They are natural regenerators when allowed to live and graze in balance with their land. When honored as part of the ecosystem rather than as commodities, they become living tools for soil restoration, water retention, and biodiversity renewal. Their hooves naturally break up compacted soil, allowing air and water to penetrate. This hoof action is like living tillage, and their manure returns nutrients to the soil, feeding microorganisms and building healthy topsoil. Horses eat a variety of grasses and plants, and their digestive systems actually pass seeds intact, spreading diverse plant life across grazing areas, unlike cattle, where the stomach acids kill the seeds. In horses, they spread the seeds. By grazing and moving in patterns, horses help manage vegetation growth, which can reduce wildfire risk and help retain moisture in land. Horses create a patchwork grazing patterns that benefit insects, birds, and other wildlife, fostering a more diverse ecosystem. The Ace of Swords asks us to cut through propaganda about horses being environmental threats and instead see the clear truth. They are partners in ecological healing when they are free to roam and graze naturally. The real problem is not the horses, but the human-made systems that fence, confine, and overexploit them. Thank you very much. This is Melinda Starr. If you like this reading and want to see more, please subscribe. Also hit like and share, and that will help the algorithms and help us spread the message. I thank you very much. If you're interested in learning about Star Horse Retreats and our retreats and offerings, you can go to starhorseretreats.com. And if you'd like to learn more about the Wizard of Oz Tarot and purchase the deck, it has these beautiful gold edges and comes with a keepsake box and descriptions and definitions with reversals included. Thank you very much.